Hey guys, it's Ben Askren. Welcome to the High Crotches, Double Legs, and Front Headlock DVD. We're gonna get into all kinds of different setups, how I get to my high crotches, all kinds of really good, strong finishes, even some really tricky ones too. Show some double legs from the open tie, how I blast people. And then last but not least, we're gonna get to front headlock defense, which is really, really important because you wanna be able to attack people without getting scored on yourself. So we show you how to get in there, attack. Even if you don't get the score, get out of there, clear it, or even score from your front headlock defense. Right now we're talking about getting to our high crotch, just like our single leg. I'm going to show you a few setups, but the key is being able to get in a tie you like, moving them around, and getting them kind of reacting to everything you're doing. So, like I said again, double biceps, this is my position. We talked about a lot of positions you can have. This is where I like to work from. So even when I'm just doing my fakes or my snaps, when I'm doing that kind of stuff, the whole key is being comfortable in here, being able to move them, and then fake, snap, elbow pass, all that kind of stuff in order to get to my shot. Now, just like the single leg, being able to shoot into a good position is probably even more key on the high crotch than it was on the single leg. Okay, so when I shoot the high crotch, I want to get my body nice and tight right here, hips in strong, into a good position, because high crotch is more dangerous in the sense that if I shoot to a bad position, Max can score me a lot easier than he could on the single leg. Double leg takedown is one of the most effective takedowns. I think it's really underused though. One of the biggest benefits to a good double leg takedown is it's the hardest shot to scramble out of. So single leg, high crotch, low single, those are all fairly good shots for a scrambler to try to turn into his points. A double leg, while there are options to scramble, it's very, very difficult. So what I'm looking to do, and like I said, there's a lot of double legs, I'm looking to attack shoulder in the abdomen and hands just below the butt, wrapping low. So right there on the wrap. Okay? As I get in my position, I'm boom, driving right there. So starting hands right, so my elbows right below his butt, wrapping low, shoulder right in the abdomen. One of the most important things on the double leg is I don't use a regular penetration step, and I think the best guy to watch this obviously is Jordan Burroughs. So if I'm shooting a double leg, I don't do the regular knee down, step up penetration. It's more of an explosion, and then I let my hips travel back under me. So watch as I'm shooting, my upright and shoot out first, boom, and then my hips come under me. And it's not that regular penetration, and that makes a double leg, it's a split second faster to the point where it's super effective. Setups to double leg. Sorry. Can I delete it? Oh, okay. When you're setting up a double leg, I think it's the easiest shot to set up from an open tie position. So open tie, I mean we're not touching at all, just using my movement. This is what I really like to do against guys who are scrambling. So remember, I was a scrambler in college, but that being said, my philosophy is if I'm on offense, I want to score as easy as possible, regardless of the fact that I'm a really good scrambler. So if I was facing a guy who's a good scrambler, I would just shoot double legs over and over again, and I would do them from open position, because usually when the guys are scrambling, they're not very good at moving their feet. So my first setup on double legs, I would just move, I'd be posting, faking a little bit, and then off my fake, I would just fire right into that double leg. Okay, so once again, posting, moving, faking. There's my double leg. And this is, I mean, this is what you see Jordan Burroughs doing right now. He's doing all these international people. He's just moving, faking, posting, snapping, blasting with double legs. So all those moving and faking, so I'm moving, faking, posting. I can also add snapping, so really easy to post, snap, then get his head up position, and then I fire the double leg. So as I'm moving, posting, faking, sometimes I'll post, snap, drop. One more time, so moving, faking, post snap right there, drop, boom, explode into my double leg. So being able to shoot from open tie is really good against those guys who don't move their feet well. And if you know what I'm talking about, it's the guys who are kind of clumsy. Maybe they're good at, usually good on the mat, but we can take advantage of their clumsiness and score a lot of double legs on them. Let's talk about some setups to the high crotch. I'm going to start with my favorite. My number one setup is the post high crotch. And I've seen a lot of different people teach the post high crotch. Everyone has their own little twists and turns to it. Here's my own little twist and turn. So what I do is, I don't like to be in tight. When we're in tight, it makes it really hard to post. So as we're farther away, I reach and I pull on it. Now, when I pull from the outside, unless you have freakishly strong back like Max, you really have two options. Number one, you're going down to the mat, or number two, you're gonna post on me. So here's number one. So if he doesn't reach to me, I can usually just pull him down, okay? But what happens on most people is, as I pull, they don't want to be pulled down, obviously. So they put that post right there, okay? So as that post is there, I post that up, I shoot to my high crotch. Okay? Now a couple things that are happening there. Number one, the post, I don't need to push it through the ceiling, okay? When I think about a post, I just want to keep this hand exactly at the level it's at. So post right there, shooting to the leg. It doesn't need to go any higher, okay? As I get to the leg, that's when this hand comes down. But I like leaving that one up there till my knee till my chest gets tight on his knee. Post, high crotch. So that's my number one setup to the high crotch. Love that setup. Okay. Here's a few more from my biceps. That's where I like to work from. So what we're start off with is, if we watch a single leg DVD, we're just going to kind of go in reverse. So on the single leg, I'm going to fake the single, going to go high crotch. So remember, on the single leg DVD, I fake high crotch. I went single, just changing it around there. So remember, if we're faking one leg and attacking the opposite, we don't need a pause, okay? So it's fake, shot. We're faking the same leg and attacking that leg, we need fake, pause, shot. So one more time with the single, fake, and crotch. If I'm faking the high crotch, there's a pause in there. So I fake, pause, and high crotch. All right, so fake, shot, fake, pause, shot. We're attacking the same leg. The other couple I really, really like, I just like a simple snap. So snap as the head comes up, fire underneath, right to my high crotch. Now, like I was talking about, I've seen 700 steps to high crotches. Those are the handful that I really like and I really use effectively. Although you might have some other ones, they're good for you. That's what's really worked for me. Now, just like we talked about the single legs, the most important thing is timing. So as we get to higher and higher levels, the timing has to be absolutely perfect before we get to our shots. So as you're setting up, as you're working, always pay attention to the timing. The number one finish to every high crotch is drive across to a double. If you have wrestled before and someone's taught you a high crotch, I pretty much guarantee you they've taught you how to drive across to a double. I'm going to glance over this because obviously it is really important, but you probably have seen it before. So as I get post, high crotch, as I get in here, tight to the leg, okay, what I need to do is I need to turn this corner so I'm driving through them. So I like rotating up. The one thing I see people have a problem with is they try to step up. Stepping up's hard, so watch, I just put my heel down, I rotate up. That's gonna put me in a really good position. This arm goes deep, this arm goes across, and drive across it on the double leg. So notice I'm not stepping, just rotating up to my feet. It makes it a lot simpler to get there. So once again, snap, high crotch, rotate up, boom, drive through it. So that's just a really simple high crotch drive across finish. When we shoot our high crotch, the key is always to drive across the double, make it really simple and easy. Now we do have some other positions we want to work from the high crotch. It's all going to depend on what kind of sprawl he gives us. So if Max shoots the high crotch on me, there's really two kinds of sprawls you're going to see. Number one, you're going to see some people are trying to put this one hip in, drive it into you. Or the other one you're going to see is they're going to sprawl the corner, and what they're trying to do is get this corner and put a lot of pressure on your shoulder. So depending on which sprawl he gives us is going to go into which finish set we're going to use. So on this one, Max and I try to sprawl in that corner, putting pressure on my shoulder. So right here, okay, so what I want to do is I call it the piston position finish. So I rotate down off this, rotate down, butt, and I'm up, right there. Okay, so without my partner, what happened is I was in my strong high crotch position, I rotate 90 degrees, I drop down, pick them up. The biggest mistake I see kids try to make is they try just lifting with their arms, they don't use their hips in it. So they get in here and they just try lifting them up, and it's really, really hard. If you use the technique, go down and up, now lifting it becomes really, really, really simple because you're using your hips as the strongest part of your body. Once I get Max in the air, there's essentially two things I'm going to do, and it's all dependent on him. Either he's going to be leaning forward and I'll feel the pressure on my neck, or he'll be leaning backwards and I'll feel the pressure pulling my arm backwards. Okay? So in the first one, Max will be leaning forward, I'll feel the pressure on the back of my neck. So as I go down and up, I feel the pressure on my neck. All I'm going to do is stay strong on my hand, roll my head underneath, body, right there. So now what I have is I end up with a low leg. Lots of times I can finish right into a cradle. So from that piston position, I shoot my high crotch, he's sprawling, down and up. I drive this up. I feel the weight on my head right here. Roll my head underneath, right there. And lots of times, finish that cradle. If not, I still finish with my takedown. Now, the other scenario is I feel him dragging me backwards as I pick him up. So I go to pick him up, and I feel the weight backwards. I just gotta rotate this hand here. I'm attacking the leg, pull him down, right like that. Okay, so that is when the weight's going backwards. Down, up, attack here, here. As the weight's going backwards, take him right there. Okay, that was my high crotch piston position finishes. It's when he sprawls and he's trying to get the corner and he's just square my hip. Take that weight, pick him up, and get some easy finishes. So the other type of sprawl he can give us is that strong hip in sprawl. So as I shoot my high crotch, I'm gonna get this hip in. The best thing to do when I get this hip in is a crack down. So all I'm gonna do is swing this leg back, sit him to his butt. So once I give him the butt, there's a few really key things happening here. Number one, my shoulder's low and it's in his leg, okay? Number two, my hips are on the ground. The two biggest mistakes kids make here are, number one, they don't pay attention to their shoulder, and when they don't do that, Max can sit around behind me, right there. Or number two, I'm on my knees, which makes sitting around me even easier. So if I'm up here, it makes it so easy for Max to sit around. He can even get cradles and all kinds of stuff from that position. So as I crack him down, I got shoulder in the thigh, hips on the mat. Shoulder in the thigh, hips on the mat. This is my crackdown position that I want to be in. Okay. I do want to go over one other crackdown that I really, really like. In college, I got so good from the crackdown position, and it was kind of against the rules, but I would almost go to the crackdown position initially as opposed to trying to finish off to a double. So when I shot in here on my high crotch, what I would do is, even if he wasn't sprawling his hip in, even if he just was normal, I would drive my shin over his foot right there, and that's going to force him right into the crackdown position. So I'm not recommending that one unless you're an expert down here. Once you get really, really good down here, you feel like you can finish on anyone, and you want to get here as often as possible. That's the point I got to in college. So once we're in that position, the position is the most important part. If I can stay in a good position, all the finishes become really easy. If I'm in a bad position, I'm going to have a tough time finishing anything at all, and I'm even going to have a tough time keeping him from scoring on me. I have to be able to stay in that good position. So, from the good position right here, okay, first one I really like to do is attack the head for a cradle. So I know a lot of people say it's kind of a childish move, but it worked for me. I got many pins from college. open, so open right here, and then I'm gonna drive off my feet and attack the head. Open, right there, boom, attack the head, get my finish. Okay. The key to that is driving really, really hard off my heels and get all of his weight going back that way. Okay, so right here, open my hips. Let me see my hips are facing the ceiling. Attack the head, boom, run him, up, pin him. Okay. A few more finishes from this high crotch crackdown position. Honestly, that's the one I go to a whole lot. But if I get him down here, maybe he's blocking my arm right here, so I want to pull it back, but I can't go to the head right there. There's a few other finishes I have to go to because I just want to sit here and let him have a stalemate. Slide out right there. So see what I did here is I used my bottom leg to get this leg out. So I slid right there, drive it out, attack shoelaces, shelf. Okay, now from here I'm just going to slide back out, got my takedown. Okay, so I'm right here. He's blocking me. I wanted to go back to the head, couldn't get it. Right there, block, slide, shelf it up, right there, and I finish. Okay, one more from here that I really, really like. And this one's tricky, so you have to pay attention. So in my here, he's blocking me. I'm gonna take the bottom hand. So see his bottom hand? Top hand's gonna cover this leg. Bottom hand. Gonna go back and attack the ankle. I run over, hold both feet up, hook them. What's this? This is the answer position. You remember that from our single leg? Right there. End up in my Turk position. Now I gotta take that, and I can try to go for the back points as well. So I'm gonna show that one from a different angle so you can kind of see how my hand's being sneaky. So as I'm going here, watch this bottom hand slide back and attack the heel. Right here, my crackdown. This one, so you see this hand right here? Attacking the ankle, pull it up here. Now, one of the keys is that notice how I'm grabbing right on his sock line in the back of his heel. What that stops him from doing is pulling his heel in. So if Max tries to pull his heel in, he's stopped. If I hook his leg, he's gonna pull this heel in right here, maybe even hook his legs. And what I can't do right now is I can't hook his legs. I'm stuck, okay? So I have to make sure I'm grabbing his heel. That way I can hook it, arm out, and then I can go for my Turk position. So that was my crackdown position. Like I told you, that was one of my best positions in college. It was a position I liked getting to all the time, so I would shoot and almost try to go right to the crackdown every time. Like I said about the high crotch, it's kind of dangerous to shoot if we don't really know what we're doing. So I'm going to show you a few positions where I work out of where he could almost score me, and I turn those into scores. So I call these the bad position finishes. So I got on my high crotch, Max out all the way sprawled on me. Right here, boom, I'm all drawn out. So obviously this is a really bad position. I would never want to get here, but I also don't just want to give up points if I do get here. All right, so I got 3 finishes from here that'll work really, really, really well for you in order to try to get you out of this position. So first one is, we call it the hurdler. So as Max goes to hook my leg right here, there, what I'm gonna do now? Pick my toe up, sit him to his butt right there. Now, I got this foot hooked, I got this foot. Lots of times I can hold him on his back from here. Let me show you that one from a different angle. Okay. Lots of times I'm even baiting him with my foot because I know I want him to hook my ankle so I can sit him back. So, as I'm here, yep, he hooks that one. Now, pay attention here. I sit right there. He's on his butt. Switch hands with this hook right there. And on his back. Okay, so that's the hurdler's finish, and that's from one of our bad position finishes. Second one we're going to do is I just call it sitting into him. So as Max goes to spin around behind me, and this only works if he's spinning behind me, I'm just going to sit and follow, change out to my double. So as Max is spinning behind me, I sit into him, follow him, change out to my double. Okay? Why that works is I can turn in a little circle faster than he can run all the way around the big circle. So without Max, what I'm doing, if he's going right, I'm sitting left first. That's part a lot of people confused on. Sitting left, staying tight in the ball, coming up, finishing double leg. So pay attention to this one more time. As he turns the corner, sitting right there, right to double leg. Boom. Okay, last bad position finish. Call this one the egg roll. Okay, so sometimes Max will try to attack my ankle and break me to my hip. So what the defensive guy wants to do is attack that, boom, break me down. Boom, that's what he's trying to do to me, okay? So as he attacks that ankle, I'm gonna attack his hand, pull it up, hit my Peterson, and there's my 5 points right there. Call that one the egg roll. He attacks my ankle, I attack his wrist, pull it in tight, roll through to my Peterson, get my 5 points. Now, I would never ever recommend that you get yourself in a position that bad. That being said, I know what happens. So we gotta find a way to get ourselves out of positions and score points even when it's looking really bleak for us. Now, like I said, I really like shooting double legs from the open tie position. I think it allows me to take advantage of my foot movement and take advantage of his kind of clumsiness. But if I want to shoot a double from in tight, right here, so if he gets the inside tie, I like snapping the arms. So what I want to do now, come back to the wrist, boom, snap the arms, and shoot my double leg off that. So even biceps, you can do biceps right here, snapping, firing my double leg. One more time, so you know, if you can get a collar or biceps, either of these positions, coming back here to the wrist to snap, fire, right there, and strong on my double leg position, head, hips, knee, all in a line. Finishing a double leg is fairly simple. It's probably the easiest of all the shots, given that we get in to a good shot. Okay. Once we get in nice and tight and strong here, finishing becomes fairly simple. It's that before part that a lot of people struggle with. So from in here tight, same thing. I'm just looking to rotate up like the high crotch, rotate up, drive through, finish to the mat. Okay. The other thing you can do is sometimes, like with those people who aren't very good at moving their feet, you'll catch them off balance and you can just put them right on their butt. So lots of times, while you're moving and faking, I'll shoot a double leg, he'll have his feet planted and I'll just put him right on his butt so it has, ooh, right there, and I'll blow through him with that initial shot so I don't have to do the change up. So that's two finishes. And then obviously if I shoot and I don't get that initial blow through, I'm gonna change off right away. So I'll shoot to it right now. So I'm out here moving, I shoot, boom, change off, run down to the mat. The other thing I want to talk about is if he's able to get a sprawl on me, how I got to cut the corner. So this is really important. This is what a lot of people miss is if I get in here, he sprawls on me right here. I got a windshield wiper to the corner. It's just allowing me to finish, okay? Because if I let him keep the weight on me, I'm not going to finish in here. So step, windshield wiper, drop, and that's going to let me have the corner. Against a really good guy, I might have to do it 2 or 3 or 4 times in order to score. Okay? So he sprawled on me, okay? Step and slide right there to the corner. Okay? So I'm dropping my weight, windshield wiper on my foot, dropping, boom, back in, dropping back in. Like I said, I might have to do that a handful of different times in order to be able to finish that shot. One thing we really like doing off the double leg is finishing to our Turk position. So our Turk position is something we get 5 points off a double leg. You don't usually see 5 points off a double leg because the guy's able to get to his belly. But if we can keep our Turk position, we can go ahead and rack up those points, which is really nice. Makes the match a lot easier. So as I shoot in here, boom, and I go to try to finish, the key is keeping my shoulder to stomach, keeping the legs tight, that's gonna make it really hard for him to turn to his stomach. Right there, so then as he turns, high leg lifts, bottom leg steps. Okay, so this is my Turk right here. What I need to do is attack his shoulders so he can't move forward. The defense of the Turk is bringing this knee forward, clear into the belly. So as soon as I get this, I attack here. So now he can't crawl forward and my Turk's stuck in. Then my free hand looks for a cross face, a hook, anything up top. Lift that leg right there, looking for my back points. Turn that double leg into a 5-point move. Okay? So one more time. As I'm going down, I need to keep my shoulder in his midsection, legs pinched tight. Don't let him do his belly easy. So right there, as I drive, shoulder in the belly, legs pinched tight, big step through, hand comes up, traps him right away. Then I start looking for something to rip him over with. So, double leg to a Turk is something we do a huge amount of work with here at the Wrestling Academy, because being able to get those 5 points off of double leg is going to make winning the match a whole lot easier. Just like in a single leg, we can work on that beginning penetration. So, do that toe touch drill like we did on the single legs is getting us down into a good attack position. We're getting our chest over our knee where we need to be, moving in, attacking the feet. Moving in, attacking the feet. Okay? So that's a really good one to get the kids started. We talked about the single leg DVD. And the other one we can talk about is the shoot through drill. And one little variation Max I like to do is I like him to lift his legs so I don't have to shoot as low. When you have kids shooting too low, kind of teaches them those bad habits. So as he lifts his leg, I can shoot up a little higher. So as I shoot through, boom, and so I can kind of stay up in this more upright position as opposed to really having to squat down to get through them, which teaches those bad habits. So, boom, right there. So I guess that's another drill where we can get a lot of repetitions in a short amount of time. Just like on the single legs, maybe even more important on the high crotch, because like I said, you can get in a lot of trouble on the high crotch if you don't really know what you're doing in there, is doing the drills where I'm getting to the leg and then we're wrestling live. So Max lets me shoot into the high crotch here, and then once I hit this high crotch position, then it's gonna be a live situation. And what that's gonna force me to do is finish this shot over and over again and get comfortable. Because with the high crotch, if we're not good here, we don't even wanna shoot it. So when we're shooting here, it's going to force us to become really good at the finish, defend all the sneaky things he wants to do, and get strong there. So I think that drill is important with the single leg, even more important with the high crotch, the easy in, hard out drill, where he's letting us get to the leg, and then we have to finish it. So that's something I would do a lot with the high crotch too, is just getting kids in there and comfortable with the situation.